Hello, dear ones. Welcome to today's open heart meditation. Very often, when we go through hardship, heartbreak, trauma, it can be very easy to close ourselves off to the love that others have to offer. Perhaps friendship or new relationships become difficult. We may notice that we're guarded, not prepared to trust. In today's meditation, we will begin to open the heart, to allow love to flow in again, and to receive the good that exists in the world. To begin, I will invite you to take 2 deep breaths with me, gently in through the nose, and then out through the mouth. And again, in through the nose, and then out through the mouth. And now we will turn our attention to our heart space. Some may find it helpful to place a hand over the heart. To imagine breath coming into the heart. To know that the heart is pumping blood throughout the body and receiving blood also from the body. As we think on this, we might notice how our heart feels. What is the energy around this closed off feeling? Is it dark or heavy? Does it feel as though it has turned to stone or ice? Perhaps we envision a flower that has closed its petals, is nervous to let the sun shine in. Whatever we might sense there, I invite you to get a clear picture to the extent that that's possible. If it feels frozen, imagine seeing that ice. If it feels like stone, see the stone wall around the heart. Remembering that there is no right or wrong way to see or experience this closed feeling. Each person is different, and so our experience will be different. And yet we can all open similarly. As you spend time reflecting on this closed heart, I invite you to imagine that there is a loving energy that's coming in from outside of your body. If you can think of those who would send love to you, perhaps you might imagine them around you. Perhaps it's not so easy to imagine who is sending love. And if that's the case, we remember that there are those out there who send love equally to all, whether they know us or not. And so we might imagine this gentle, loving energy that exists in the world. If it helps, we might assign a color or a shape or even a fragrance that feels loving to us. And we might imagine that we can sense this love approaching our bodies. Perhaps blowing in on the wind, perhaps riding on a sound wave. Whatever way best speaks to you. And as you sense this love that is coming, perhaps you return your attention to the heart. And perhaps you might imagine that it is able to begin to open. We are all different, and so we may notice different things. We may notice that ice melts instantly. Or we might notice that perhaps just softens a bit. Maybe the wall around the heart grows a little thinner, or maybe it falls away entirely. Perhaps the closed flower of the heart gently begins to open its petals. I remind you that this is not a place for judgment of yourself. Sometimes the heart doesn't open as quickly as we would like it to. Or perhaps it opens too quickly and we feel vulnerable and afraid of being hurt again. No matter what happens, know that we are here together, exploring this process and allowing the heart to do exactly what it needs to heal. If you haven't placed your hand over your heart, perhaps now is the time to do it. And perhaps we can remind ourselves, remind our hearts, I am here for you. I support you. And I validate whatever you need. We can remind ourselves that it is okay to keep the heart closed if that feels safest right now. And we can remember that there will be a time when it will be safe to open again. And so we can express thanks for our body's inner wisdom of knowing when we need to be protected and of knowing when it's safe to be open and vulnerable again. And so taking another deep breath, sensing the love that exists and the love that wants to enter our heart. We might notice that we feel ready to let it in. And we might notice how that feels to allow it to be there, to allow it to dissolve the stone, thaw the ice, open the flower petals, and bring warmth and contentedness back inside. We remember that this love is always available to us, if only we have the courage to open our heart.